Hello everybody, my name is Drina and I'm here to give you a tutorial on how I do my wood grain. Thanks to the people on Little and Rose, they kind of boosted my confidence to be able to do this, the tutorial for everyone. And here's one of my wood grains, and then here's another, and here's my big baby here. I'm very proud of this one. I just enjoyed making it so much. I think this is the one that really got me addicted to wood grain. And then I have this one. This is my latest one. Now, funny story, this is the one that I attempted to do the first tutorial on when I was asked of me, but the video looks so bad, so I'm hoping that this one turns out a whole lot better. So, so I decided to do another wood grain, and this time I'm doing it on just a vase. I've already prepped my vase, and what I do to prep my vase, I paint it a color, then I seal it. And I need to seal it because whenever you're working with the alcohol, I happen to work with 99 proof alcohol, and so it will start pulling the paint. So I did a heavy coat of seal on here. And I did forget to grab my alcohol, so let me grab my alcohol. I tried my best to have all my ingredients before I came on, and still, I didn't have all my ingredients. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is show you this first. The colors that I'll be using are pretty much the colors that I've made. And then also some of this one, which is Butterscotch from Ranger, Tom Holtz. Used some of that. I want to show you this I've made two blacks. I made a black from Bic permanent marker, and a black from Sharpie permanent marker. And I learned this, if you've been buying alcohol inks, then you'll know what I'm talking about. The blacks are either blue based, or they're either a cool base or a warm base. And so what you're gonna need is a warm base black. And I'll show you the difference in these two. I don't know if you're able to see it, but this one is the Sharpie black, and this one is the Bic black. And let's see if you can see the difference. One is purple looking, and the other one, it has a brown cast to it. And I only know this, I'm hoping you guys are seeing it. I only know this because I was a hairstylist, and so I dealt with color, and I also did art in school, so I dealt with color. So I kind of know color pretty well. So the one that we'll be using is the Bic based, the Bic alcohol ink, which is the warm base, okay? Because we're using brown for the wood. Okay, I wanted to show you that, and I have started making my own alcohol inks because I haven't been able to purchase as many, and the cost is very economical when you get your formula down right. Okay, this bottle cost about about $3 to $4 a bottle, and where I make these at about $2 a bottle, so I'm saving some money. Okay, Now let's move on to this. Okay, so I'm going to be doing planks. I thought I had set this up better. Let me turn this sideways. And y'all just gonna see me raw because I work on trying to edit the videos. Sometimes I do a good job and sometimes I don't. Well, this one, they wanted to see it from start to finish, which I already have my prepped vase, but I just told you how I prepped that. And you would do your tumblers as you would prep a tumbler. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is draw my planks on here. It's pretty easy. I don't have a decal for this one at all yet. I know that I'm probably gonna add one at a later date, maybe. I want to do something with flowers, but anyway. And let me just admit it up front that I am nervous, but thank you, Little and Rose group, for telling me that you'll watch it, and I appreciate that. This is a darker color than I normally use. I wanted to try out something different. What I normally use on my as my base color is, it's called Modern White. Modern White from Krylon, I think it is, because I use Krylon and Rust-Oleum, both of them. So got a little something there. All right. So when doing your planks, I wanted to do it this way, but I'm first going to show you guys. I have another one that I'll work on the round ones, but I wanted to show you guys how I do my planks up and down. I don't know if anyone else has given a tutorial on it or whatever. This is just the way I do it, and since you guys wanted to see it, I'm doing it. All right, so I want it to look authentic, and I want it to look like wood, so I'm not gonna be very neat on making my lines. Some of them are going to look a little unstraight, and that's a good thing, because if you've ever seen an old wood plank floor, you've ever seen an old wood plank floor, you know that they are not the best looking floors. And I got this idea thinking about, as I'm thinking now, my grandfather's old floor that he made years and years ago, and it's still standing today. But that's where I got the idea from. Okay. Now this time, on this one, I actually used paint from a bottle because it's kind of cool outside and I don't like the cold at all. So I use paint from a bottle, and I use a paint roller to apply the paint. As a matter of fact, it's a mini one. This is what I use to apply the paint. And let me excuse myself. It sounds like I have a lisp. I really don't. I have my Invisalign trays in, and they make me talk funny. And my orthodontist actually said it'll eventually stop. I'm hoping. I said I hardly do videos because I sound so funny. Well, no, my podcast. I hardly do podcasts or videos because I sound so funny. But that's just where I am. So I draw all my lines on. Now this is, I'll enjoy this part. This is fun to me because I get to be creative. And if you notice, let me see if I can show you here. If you notice, they actually look like planks and they have no rhyme or reason. So that's what we're gonna do, is draw our plank lines on there, which I love this part because it gives me an opportunity to start, building my design. So I'm just gonna go in and put some lines here. Now, I'm gonna tell you, because this is dark, I'm gonna need to, y'all look at my hands, they're horrible. Because it's dark, I'm gonna need to heavy my lines up now that I think about it, because I don't wanna lose them. when it comes time. Now, someone could just go in and do it and make the lines and all that stuff, but you guys asked me how I do it, so I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So there's a piece of a plank there, and I'll do this. And I don't go with the brick lay because I want it to look old and nostalgic, so I just do them however. Go back through here and darken up my lines since my base is so dark. And it's so fun. And it's really not as hard as some people might think. It's actually easy. And I realize it doesn't take me that long to do it. It'll probably take me longer because I'm talking. And I'm quite sure that there are many ways to do this. This is not the, I'm quite sure this is not the only way. Some people may have their own little spin that they put on it. Because when I first started doing wood grain, believe it or not, I haven't been doing wood grain on cylinder blanks, cups, or anything like that. I actually had never done it until I start seeing how pretty wood grain was. And because I paint, I think that's the one thing. I do paint, so I have done walls and brick and things like that in painting. Okay, so there it is. Got that part done. Now, then you're gonna put your knots. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my nails using a Sharpie. Now, when I do this, do I want to use a Sharpie or do I want to? You can use a Sharpie or a paint pen, and I normally have a. Okay, that's a silver paint pen. Oh, let's do that one. Okay, we'll use the silver paint pen. I haven't done one like this before, so let's just see how it turns out. Silver paint pen. Okay, so I'm just gonna put 4 there. On the other ones, I use black. And let me just say this. Summer from Little Lee and Rose, they don't pay me to say, you know, I love that Facebook page. I just do. I really like that Facebook page. It's a lot of encouragement, a lot of corrective, you know, education. I'll say it that way. People will definitely educate you on what to do. They give you a lot of helpful hints. I'm so glad that I joined them. And how I learned about that page, I was scrolling through Facebook looking for, what was I looking for? I was looking for ideas, and I was actually trying to work with epoxy a whole lot better. And I ran across Summer's page, and I guess it's entitled Little Lee and Rose as well on YouTube. And I don't pay attention to the names of the pages really. I was just paying attention to her presentation, her information, and it was all good. And it got me to watching, and I don't normally usually join pages or anything like that. But when she mentioned it, I decided, oh, what the heck, you know, why not try it out? I did, and I love that group. I spend more time on that group page than I do on my own Facebook page. Why? Because there's so much motivation there. If you get stumped on working on something, they will help you. I think this one's almost running out. They will help you. You can ask any question. There's no dumb question. And I just like it. And I have joined I did join another page, and it's not as active. I'll just be honest. Y'all, I'm just talking until I finish with my dots. I did join another page, and it's not as active. I'm not sure why. I don't know, but Little Lee and Rose Facebook page is, and it has been the best page I've ever joined, outside of the one that I do. Okay, so now that I've got all that on, I got my my nails on. I may have to go over it again after I put my ink on it. I've never done it with the silver, so if I have to go over it again, I'll just go over it again. Now, let's move on to the next step. Now, you're going to need to get your brush. Now, this funky dried brush here is a makeup brush. It's an e.l.f. makeup brush. And it's all dry because I do not rinse it out when I get the alcohol ink in here. I don't rinse it out. And I've covered my Lazy Susan with saran wrap because I'm gonna use this to help me. I've got another e.l.f. brush that I use. This is the part that gets a lot of the details, and then I use these brushes to help me with other things and the planks as well. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and you're gonna need alcohol and paper towel. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use my brown. I think I got my bottles mixed up, but I made me a light brown, and I made me I do have my bottles mixed up. Well, this is my light brown, and this is my dark brown, and you can tell right there. And I do use permanent markers to make my alcohol ink. So the first thing I'm going to do is start putting my alcohol ink on here. Now, this is not how I normally do it. I usually just do it this way. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you, I'm trying my best to do it this way so that you guys will be able to see it. Oh, this is my nifty little holder. I waited too long to get the pool noodles, so I had to come up with something myself, and it works out pretty well for me. All right, so let's start applying the alcohol ink. This is the easiest part. You know, I've seen people do videos and they say go from top to bottom or from bottom to top. You don't have to do that. If you notice here, let's see on this one, if you notice here, all this detail that you see here, it's because I did not go from top to bottom, and I have these on here, the leaves on here, so you can't see it. But it's because I didn't go from top to bottom. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Here we go. Oh, this is Now I'm going to do my best to do it without putting my fist in it. I've made a habit of that. Oh, that's black. Oh, well. We'll start with black. I didn't want to start with black. Where is it? Light brown. There it is. And this is the wrong one. No. And I told you guys I did light brown. Okay, now we're on. I'm trying. It's not going to work that way. So let me just go ahead and put my fist in, and I'll try my best to make sure that I stay in the camera's view. So I'm going to go ahead and put pretty much all over. If you notice, I am skipping spots, and it's fine. Why? Because I'm going to come back and deal with that. But what I want to do, the goal is to build up my ink. That's what I call it. I don't know what it's called. Just to make sure I have a lot on here. Believe it or not, I was so nervous in doing this to the tutorials, and I was trying to figure out why. One of the reasons, oh no. Okay, look at what's happening. I didn't anticipate that. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. But on the others, I did, I used my black permanent marker. All right, so I learned something. Don't use the silver. Okay. Y'all are seeing me and my mess ups. That's something I've never done. So now I see why I won't do it again. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. As I was saying, I was so nervous in doing this, and I don't even understand why. My son kept saying, Mommy, do the videos, do the videos. And I said, I don't know why I'm not doing them, because here's the crazy thing. I used for the past, oh gosh. I've been an educator since 2009. And I was an adult educator, so I don't know what I was so afraid of. Okay, so now here's the fun part. You get to be all up in it. You get to be very creative. What I mean by that is that I'm going to add a dot there and add some black to it. Doesn't even look like I added black to it. Let's try this again. How about we do this? Working with alcohol inks, to me, if you know anything about paint, it's like working with watercolor. Because as long as you have alcohol, even if this dries, you can still use it. So that's what I like about it. Okay, so now look at there. There we go. Look at there. I'm starting to build it up. And get my texture and detail going here. See? See that? Now, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to mess with that because that's going to come in handy a little bit later. Let me put some more black down. And so, as you see, I'm going up this way. Now, I used to use the 91 proof alcohol. Worked fine, had no problems with it, but I ran out of alcohol ink, and I ran out of alcohol. Went to the store I normally get it from and could not find any. And I got on Little Lee and Rose, and I was like, okay, where do you guys get your alcohol ink? Alcohol, 91 proof alcohol, because I cannot find any. And someone said, go get the, what is it, unnatured alcohol, 99 proof from Home Depot. I go there, I find it, I fall in love with it. Oh gosh, why do I like it? Because I like it because it's it dries really quickly. That's why I like it. Okay, we're just gonna utilize the mess I made. So where is this coming in? So this is a it has kind of a warm base to it. No, it has kind of a yellow-green base to it, a yellow base going toward the green side. I'm going to use it to just add a little more, what do you call it? just variation. I'm going to use it to add more variation. And we're going to use that ink down there. See, it changes, it gives me more variation. Now it looks like I've lost my lines, but I really haven't. I'm still going to be able to see my lines. Now, however you choose to apply your ink, if you notice, I am not stroking from top to bottom. I'm just getting that ink on there. See, there we go. Getting some more texture there. Now the ink is doing pretty much all the work for me. I'm not having to fight to get that texture going and that variation going. The ink is doing it for me. So, looking pretty good. Now, I like for it to have such a woody look till a woody, huh? I don't even think that's a word, but I like it to have a true wood look. How about that? Now those light spots are gonna work for me as well. And then another thing that I like, let's do this. I'm gonna add just a tad bit. It's probably gonna be way too much, but I wanna get a little bit of ink and alcohol in there, and I'm gonna show you why. I like to build up on those edges in some spots. And this dries really, really fast. There we go. Okay, so now I am ready to do my detail. Okay. Now I'm ready to do my detail. I probably won't need this brush anymore. Okay, I probably won't need this brush anymore, but if I do, it's there. And since I have all this right here, I can close up all my inks because I won't need them anymore because of that big old mess I made there. It seems like everything goes wrong when I turn the camera on. I forget something, you know, all kind of stuff. Now when I do these, I haven't even wasted any. Okay, so now that's where this brush comes in. You see I got a lot of paper towel here. I'm gonna use that. And hopefully this is not too long, but it doesn't usually take me that long to do this. I guess my nervousness is winning. So now I'm just gonna push that ink. Probably got too much. See how I'm pushing that ink? Then I'll just go push it in another place. Now, I want it to have that layered look, So I will work that in, and I'll just find other places where I like the fresh, I guess you'd call it the choppy wood cut look or whatever. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a woodsman. And I know you guys have probably been waiting on this, but I was so nervous. Hopefully this will break my nervousness and I'll just do it. And I used to do, I was on camera, well, not on camera, literally. Yeah. I was doing videos every single day, 7 days a week. But I was too nervous to come on here and show you guys what I do, how I do it. I don't even know why. But thanks to the Literally in Rose group, I'm hoping that this is in frame for you guys. If not, I'm gonna be so upset because I have tried to do this video. Okay, and then I'll come back and do it again. And you see, it's not, you know, it's not like a lot of work that I'm putting into it. Just strokes. And it's not hard. And the last part we're going to do is the planks. I know some of you have been waiting on me to do this. I'm not that interesting of a person, so I can only just ramble on while you watch me work. And hopefully it'll be something in here that helps you. Now, I like to get real, like, adventurous in doing this, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So, I'm going to do that. It dries so fast, then I'm going to come back and pick up some of my spill, and then come back and go in there again. And then I'm gonna add this to this side. I think about things like this. Look at all the, well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but when I'm doing my wood, I'm thinking about wood pieces. What does my actual, if I have wood on my dresser, what does it look like? Wood on my stand, what does it look like? And this is so therapeutic to me. I get in my own world and have so much fun doing this. I love doing artwork anyway. I love being creative. Oh, I've been making skins. I don't even have anything to put them on, but I just enjoyed making skins. I did put one on a water bottle that I have. I've got to finish sealing it and all that good stuff. And it'll be up on the getting tongue-tied, Literally in Rose, because I always post my work over there. And it'll also be on my page, which is Dream Pub. I post my work on there as well, because I do more than just tumblers and cups. I do something called the Bubba Jar, and it's just, and my son got me into that. He is so, he's young, but he acts like an old man. And because he acts like an old man, he likes old things. He grew up around the old people, his grandfather, his grandmother. And so he doesn't like tumblers and stuff. So I made him a Bubba jar. And it's just a glass jar, old-fashioned look if you guys grew up in the country. Maybe I'll make one of them and show you what it looks like, because it looks real country. And I'm just gonna add a few more strokes in here. Now, the one thing I have realized about this 99 proof, it'll leave like a hazy look, but once you put your epoxy on there, it polishes right back up. So let's go in here. I can sit and work on this for a long time. I can work on it a little bit. It's just your preference, how much you want, and the more work you put into it. Once you start doing it, you'll find that it's really not as much work. If I wasn't showing you guys in detail, I would probably be finished by now. Because it's not, you don't have to be like super neat about it. So all you do, you find the spots where you want the detail to be. And if any of you have worked with watercolor, then this is what it's like to me, working with watercolor. Okay, I think I added a little bit too much black, but we're here now. All right, so I'm gonna stop there because I want to show you the next step. So the next step, I'm gonna put some, some more brown, and I may be able to work with that black. I'm not sure because it's on a paper towel. So now, why do I need more? Because we're about to define those lines. Let me show you what I mean. These lines that you see here, this is just working with alcohol ink. So that's what we're about to do. So I'm gonna grab, this is the one I like to use the most. It's long, and I like it more. So I'm gonna put, look at all that ink in there. And I normally use a lot of black because it's gonna help build up that. All right, so now I'm gonna go through and just find all my lines and do them. I don't know if I'll be able to use that black over there. I need this with a lot of ink in it, but I don't need it with a whole bunch of alcohol in it. So I need enough alcohol for it to move. So now let's go in, and there we go. You need enough alcohol to get it moving. Now we're gonna go in and put in all of the lines. So there's one. Almost, yeah, I used too much dark because I almost lost all my lines. And we're just gonna keep going until we add our lines through here. Oh, I'm so glad I did this. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with that. Wow, I'm glad I did that. It's actually a mess up, but it's gonna look good once I show you how I like to fill in those spots. It's like a miscut piece of wood. All right, since you guys are here watching, you can fast forward or whatever, but I'll just tell you a little bit about me. I was a cosmetology educator, and I'm also still a licensed cosmetologist. But since we have this crazy rules that are happening about how you can operate and all that, I just chose not to go back into that field. And since I enjoy crafting so much, decided to dump everything into it. Now, for some reason, maybe my background is causing me issues. Maybe I used too dark of a background. So let's see here. Okay, there we go. So I'm pushing that ink aside and building up a line. There we go. I needed more alcohol than I realized. I have watched a few videos on the wood grain look, and some people use the makeup brush. Some people, I've seen some sponges being used. I actually like doing it this way. Now, there's a line, and we're just going to continue on doing all the lines. And you guys get to see that I did not do very good at getting my lines dark enough. So I'm having to work a little bit on that, but that's okay. My kiddo shared with me when I started to figure out what I wanted to do, because I have two, and my daughter, she just went back to college. And so she said, "Mommy, you raised us, now enjoy your life." So I thought, well, what do I want to do? Well, I want to craft all day, every day. So that's what I do. My hardest thing about crafting is marketing myself. I think my work is really good. You know, you gotta pat yourself on the back, be your own cheerleader. So I think my work is really good, but my work isn't selling. But I don't mind sharing what I do. All right, so it doesn't look that defined right now, but it will. And if you have an easier way to do it, go right ahead. If you learn something out of this, I hope it's useful. I'm just gonna push that ink. What I'm doing here is see how it's building up because I'm pushing that ink around. And I'm just gonna tell you, I have lost my lines, so I'm creating them as I go, which I really don't like to do that. But hey, this is where we are. So now you get to see what happens if you lose your lines. Create them as you go. So why draw them in the first place? It gives you a guide. The only reason why I can't see my lines now is because it's too dark. I mean, I covered my, I like to build up the ink because in building up the ink, it gives me ink to push around. And I don't, you know, if you've done alcohol ink before, I mean, if you've done the wood grain before, you don't want to have to go and put another, you don't want to have to go and put another layer on there after you started working on whatever it is. When you start doing it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm adding a little bit more texture there, getting my lines going. Y'all, I'm not a good talker and worker at the same time, but I do want to tell you what I'm doing. I am a good talker and worker at the same time, because that's what I used to do all the time anyway. Okay. Someone just told me, I was on the phone with someone earlier today, and they told me, give yourself credit. You know, okay. I am my own worst enemy. You notice I'm getting more texture in there by pushing that and building up my lines. I get more texture, more definition, more detail. And because I'm here by myself, it usually doesn't take me this long because I'm usually just sitting here with the TV on or some music on, listening to something in my zone, working. I don't want you guys to think, oh, I gotta spend however long I've been on camera. I don't even know. I don't want you guys to think you gotta spend that much time. It actually, once you start doing it and get your rhythm going, it goes a little bit fast. I'm gonna show you how fast it goes. I'm gonna do the rest of this, and you guys are just gonna watch me work for a moment so you can see that it doesn't take that long. Okay, so one of the things I want to tell you is this is why you want the lines. I'm gonna show you what happened and show you where I gotta fix it. This is why you do want the lines where you can see them, because now I've met up with my other line. I don't know if you can see it. So now I have this awkward looking space here, but show you how I fix that. Let me finish this part up right here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna fix that. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm actually going to Hang on. Need to build this up a little bit here. There we go. Get my line more prominent. Now, let me say this on when you have a dark spot, to define your line more, turn it light. If you have a light spot, to define your line more, turn it dark, if that makes sense. So because this is a dark spot, I'm going to make it lighter here to define my line a little bit more. And then get some of that out and use that. Use that, okay? Now that I got all my lines, let's go back and do, we just did the vertical lines going up and down. Let's do the horizontal lines. You need black for that quite a bit, because just gonna put a lot of black in my brush here. And the reason why you need the black for it is because you're gonna have to push more ink around, and if you don't have enough black, that's what happens. So because that black is not working, let me get, is that black or brown? Yeah, that's black. Okay. There we go. So you just put your lines in there. I haven't forgotten about this piece. This piece between here and here. Now, it doesn't matter what brushes you use. If you want to use makeup brushes, use makeup brushes. I only use this brush because I don't want to ruin any of my other paint brushes. I use the brushes that you see are the ones I specifically use for my alcohol ink, because I don't want to rinse them out. And I don't want to rinse them out because I like the buildup of the ink. And I like the not so neat look of it. So you could probably tape it off and do all that stuff to it. But I like the not so neat look. I think I did watch a tutorial on Woodgrain where they did tape it off to get the planks. No, their planks were horizontal. And I want to do some horizontal planks. I just haven't done it yet. I was trying to go ahead and get this tutorial done because I've been saying I was going to do it. I did do it. It was jacked up. Oh. My long pause. This is why I was trying to remember now. This is why I would do my knots beforehand, because my knots act as a guide. So, I could have used my knots. I wasn't even paying attention. I told y'all I was nervous. I guess you didn't believe me. So I've made more mistakes than I normally make, but oh well, this is where we are. We're gonna go from here. Keep moving. So now I've got to fix that. Just keep creating things for me. See, here by myself, when I'm doing it and nobody's here, I get to just focus on it. All right, so now I've got everything on here. What I'm gonna do, let's get that line built up a little bit more right there. And let's cut back on this one. So what I'm gonna do is add me some brown here and go over the silver. It's kind of jacked up, but. So remember that. That's why I use the black. So it helps me find out where my lines are gonna be. I didn't have my black paint marker over here. So I have my black permanent, which we're gonna use. Okay, so what am I about to do? I'm about to go over these areas here. And hopefully it will get rid of that. It's a good thing this doesn't belong to someone. It's just mine. I learned something. I hope you learned that too. That's not doing much of anything. Oh well. Now let me do my bottom. And okay, this spot right here, I knew that I was gonna have to fix that. So how am I gonna fix that? What happened is I touched it before it all dried. So I'm just gonna put some black in there. And I said I wasn't gonna pick it. I'm not. I don't need that. Just adding some texture here. Just blue on it just a little bit. Okay. That takes care of that part. I'm going to go back and put... Oh! I don't hardly ever spill my inks, but I have the camera on. It's like, I admit I'm a messy crafter, but not normally this messy. But anyway, there we go. So I'm going to go back and use my permanent marker and put knots in here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do right here as well. And this is why I put it on before, because it's easier to help you identify where your planks are. Maybe if I wasn't so nervous, I wouldn't have had this many issues. But oh well, I'm doing it now. Gotta keep going. I just want this one to turn out better than the other one, which I didn't even put up because the lighting was horrible. The view was very bad. The lighting wasn't so bad. The view was really bad. And I don't have a studio like Summer. Okay. Just about done here. Okay, we're back around. Now, this is how I'm gonna fix this. I have this little piece of plank here and that little piece of plank there. So what I'm gonna do is put a knot here. Well, they're nails. And then put one here. And then I'm going to actually kind of fill in that. If you know anything about wood, you'll know there's the old wood. There would be holes in the floor or in the wood because it's miscut. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. And it gives you, now also I'm going to show you why I don't put, why I don't just trace all of my planks in permanent marker and go from there. Because the permanent marker is so much darker, and when you use the ink itself to work with it, then it gives you more of a natural look. Okay. I don't have anything to put on here, but the next step I would do is to apply my decal. And then put my I put my varnish on here, my one coat epoxy, and then my decal, and then I do my second coat epoxy. Let me show you what I did with this one. Even though you don't see the tutorial, I see a little leak right there. So what I did with this one, I put my black on there before I even did my wood. I put my base coat, and then I put my varnish, then I put my decal. After putting my decal, I didn't do my white yet. I did that last. After doing my decal is when I did my wood planks. And I did not do well enough here in varnishing, because I did come back and varnish on top of it, but I guess I must have missed that spot. Then after I did my decal, before I put my white in, I added my cracks, because what this is busting through the wall of the wood. And I just put God is my strength. I asked the people on my page what do they want me to do with it, and someone said put a spiritual inspirational quote, and I thought this would be a good one. God's arm busting through a wall, or whatever. God is my strength. But anyway, let me stop rambling on. So I did that with that one. Now for this one, I actually painted that on there. I painted my horseshoe on there. I used the entire mug as a canvas. I painted my rope on there. I'll have to show you how I did the rope. I found an easy way to do the rope. On this one, I actually just did a video on the flowers. I had, on the leaves. I had a lot of people ask me about that. And here I used a lot of the black and the butterscotch, and just not so much of the brown. As a matter of fact, I used purple and pink in this one. You know how to mix colors, you can do that. Alrighty, so that's the end of that. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, or if you're on the Little Lee and Rose page and you have any questions, feel free to do so. I am adding more videos because you guys have given me the confidence to do it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but watch the Little Lee and Rose page, or you can go to my page Dream Pub and see more things that I do as well on there. Thank you so much. I hope this was informal. I hope this was informational for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.